Dr. Alfred Achebe, Dr. Nkani. So si abi igwe ọ ga-abụ ndị Igbo unu mana ndị Igbo adịkwe na onwe onye kafa mana ya na ndị igwe ndị Anambra ndị Igbo niile nọkọsị asị onye ga-eje asị akwụchasị ya afụ na onwekwe na onye ga-akwụ abụrụ ya ndị Igwe kwekọrịta Igwe adịghị aka ibia ma ọ dị nke agba ogidi ji obere ife ka ndị Igwe ndị ọzọ biko kụọ na-agba ogidi aka emasị na ụmụ nwaanyị na-ama mmarị nna amụrụ m ife a ga-ekwu maka agba ogidi mana ka nrapụgo dị etu a ekenesigokwa m ndị Igwe niile nọ ebe a ma Igwe Ogidi ma Igwe Akwaeze ọ bụ nwa ya nwoke ekenego m ndị Igwe niile mana o nwere ofu onye very special guest I have not recognized because the paper flipped away and I didn't want to make any mistake. He's a 3-time speaker, Kaduna House of Assembly. He's a Right Honorable and he's a senior special advisor to the president on political matters. I'm talking about Right Honorable Gideon Samani. Hallelujah. Right Honorable, my apologies. Not because of what the president will do to me if you report me. I'm a professor of laws. I'm beyond his reproach. But I'm recognizing you on your special right. I take all responsibilities for the late recognition. But I think it's coming at a time that is better appreciated because the Vice-Chancellor and the outgoing and incoming are now here. If I had recognized you before now, they wouldn't have known you are here. Welcome once again to our great university. Excuse me. I've not even recognized all the deans of faculties here. The people I will go back to, the directors, the professors, but I believe you will understand. Class school from Cameroon. All of them, great school. And I said we share one thing in common with you. Christ the King College. So I share go in that. There are other people who will also share in Simone's glory. And there are people, the overseers of his great ministry and church. And I think they should be recognized as of right. Makandi akwezemwe. Ade tonwelo atolo songa na gabulo nyenke no. Obu na ma gboro ndigba ele jua chukwu ajuju directly. Chukwu si anya jebe na ife aga eme. Odi okwo nka o ga-agbaghalum. I have to recognize Pastor Emmanuel Obodo, the state overseer, Deeper Life Ministry. Obodo, are you here? Obodo, please stand so that we'll recognize you. Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. Thank you very much. Pastor Damian Ume represent overseer Abia State. Are you here? Praise the Lord. You can see he's with the wife. Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. Thank you very much. Besides my gift of oratory, I could have also been a good reverend, a good pastor. But and then I have to recognize the overseer of the Oka region, my very good friend and the dean who took after me, who served with me when I was the dean of law, Pastor Professor Godwin Okeke, Oka region overseer. Former dean of the Blessed Faculty of Law. Please, may I request that I don't want to collect anybody to bring any further list here, please, so that we can go to the item for this program. But I had to fill this gap. But please, let's get the cola nut ready because I don't intend to keep the abogidi here. And we have to rearrange the sitting arrangements. We have to. Then the overseer for Bosi region, Pastor Michael Amadi. Michael Amadi, are you here? Oh, kunu for the areas belesi weje niwe. Osi oniche osi abia. Makonya na ra choi feje bakwo ofu ebe na amobia si no ebele ga-esi ebe niile na we kpota chukwu n'ụla. Na ebe belesi weje gasi. Then Elias Ogamba, Ihiala Zone overseer. Elias, are you here? Thank you very much for your prayers. Onwegodu ndị ebelefa jedebe na ebe o jedebe ndị nke ọzọ bụrụzie anya ife a na-akpọ continuing effect in trespass in law. Igbo onye enyele ya ka ọ na-eje. Then Ruben nke ndịle ma agụatara zone. Are you here? Very well. Gị na nwunye. Thank you very much. Thank you. Then Chris Okeke Anyocha. Chris Okeke. Welcome. Oh, Dalo. Kenneth Egwago Atala. Is that Egwago Egwato? Egwago. Welcome. Oh. Simon Orie from Otuacha. Dalo. Thank you very much. I'm impressed. Onye mgbakwala oku ni oyi coat. That's good. Din law. Imana ife ndị lawyer na-eyi. I know or coat or suit. Getting kind of. Thank you very much. Dalo. We have to make progress. Damn, I hope I'm right. A lawyer had a coat, a lawyer and a suit. If a teacher in we have to. I went 2 short programs because Unu manandi when on your line. I went 2 short programs. Oh, it's okay. Auntie Viola, you are not to be blamed in this. They are giving me this list too late. I saw when Emma ushered you, and I wanted to call Emma to her and say, I can't want you to Joe and Yoche, but I didn't know it was you. Your low-cut, your elegance, your reduced age made me not know it was you who stepped in. I take all responsibilities for this. All. Not every, all. And the associate, please, you're welcome. Professor Viola Onwe, former Minister of State Education. Auntie Viola. Let me now rearrange sitting order. Fabia Zeba, no, you're still in charge. You're still in charge until evening. Direct me accordingly. Oh, sorry, till tomorrow. Till tomorrow. That is Rigalu, 12 midnight. It doesn't matter. You see why I'm not worried. Why I'm not worried. Even if it's not a Simone who is taking over, I'm a professor of law in this university. I mean, I am there in perpetuity. I have a permanent seat in Senate. I have a permanent seat in Senate. I don't need anybody for anything. So, we are still very loyal until 12 midnight. Whether you like it or not, by tomorrow the loyalty will shift. Whether you like it or not, it will shift statutorily. But remains as a father of this university because we are building on his foundation. He has done so well. Posterity will vindicate you. Thank you very much. Let me now, Ima, it's okay. We have a choice that I give Ima over the microphone or I continue and he advises me. What is your choice? Ima, you can see the public opinion. Will you guys sit down so that I can conclude what I'm doing? This is Naga Award. He's still in charge. He's a good man, he's my friend. But after this, Obo former Vice-Chancellor, Obo my colleague as a professor. Abogidi.
Please, can I just play a little part as Director of Protocol? He is University Orator, and he's appointed. And and after my little discussion with the VC, I've been directed to take on for the next few minutes before I give him back. You see how power flows. Mr. Vice-Chancellor, you've just directed that the colonel should be broken up here so that people can see everything. Is that what you're saying? Okay. Can we quickly they will come up. University Orator, please. Can you find a seat for the moment? Can you please find a seat, Professor of Law, somewhere? My position is a statutory position. And your position is an appointment of the Vice-Chancellor, which is temporal. Thank you very much. Please. Let them come up.
It's okay. Anyway, I have done.
Oji memono ihere age akokwalam.
May we give a round of applause to the statutory director of protocols of our
Say, Oji memono ihere age akokwalam. Eshimge hunli ihem chemere koji akokwalamo.
Thank you very much. We thank God for being in the university. May I invite to the high table the Obi of Furniture. And my request that the PRO should please give them the appropriate seats as I call them. The Obi of Furniture. Aborgidi. A round of applause for the Aborgidi. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. May I invite the Vice-Chancellor and the wife, Professor Joseph Eberendwa Haneku and Professor Glad to the high table. Thank you very much. May I invite the man of the moment? The beauty about statutory issues that they are fixed. But appointments can last all life. I've been the Deputy University Orator since 2003. From there, the University Orator, I wish it were statutory that I could have gone out. And I hope the incoming Vice-Chancellor still does not appoint me the University Orator so that I can go. Let me invite to the high table the man of the moment, a gentleman, Professor Charles Okechukwu Esimone, FAS, to the high table. Surveyor, His Excellency Surveyor Aluko, Member Governing Council. Surveyor Aluko, His Excellency, former Deputy Governor of Ekiti State. Let me intersperse it by inviting a distinguished gentleman, a former member of council, a member of council, then a senator, whose father was also a senator. Senator Ben Ndo. Ben Collins Ndo. Let me invite the Senior Special Advisor to the President on Political Affairs, Right Honorable Gideon Man. I still have the honor to invite may I also invite to the high table the traditional Prime Minister of Oka, who is representing the Ezos of Oka. Traditional Prime Minister of Oka to the high table, please. Ladies and gentlemen, you know, I'll get to that shortly. The Deputy Vice-Chancellor Administration, who is the chairman, chairperson of this committee, is also on the high table. Professor Dame Carol Obi to the high table. All right. May I invite Chief Dr. Eric Okoye, Chief Executive Officer, Juhel Pharmaceuticals, to the high table. May I also invite Chief Femenike, Chief Executive and Managing Director of Neros Pharmaceuticals, to the high table. Also, let me invite the Chief Executive and Managing Director of Dozy Oil to the high table. Or his representative. Osoloka Offer place. What most of you don't know is that we know how we manage our great in-law. She's married to my very dear sister. So I know what my sister and I go through with him and what we do. I'm happy it's playing out the way it is doing. There are things you can't fight for. Dr. Clem Ngobo, Director, MP Infrastructure, benefactor of the university. He's ably represented by Professor Frank Collins Okafo. Frank Collins to represent Clem Ngobo. It doesn't, it thinks that should not. And I still have list. His Royal Highness says that Dr. Pius Onyekwere Mfula Nankano Mfuna Lankano na ahera. Professor Sedeke, ASU National Vice President, representing the President of ASU. Welcome, sir. Welcome. Comrade. Comrade. Sir.
Chimo.
May I invite May I invite Professor Viola Onwoye, former Minister of State for Education, placed to the high table. And Foreign Affairs too. Please, ladies and gentlemen, let us welcome the wife of the Vice-Chancellor incoming. Thank you very much. Thank you. Why I am not so worried for today? Why? Now, may we now appreciate the wife of the incoming Vice-Chancellor. Yes. Her colleague, Professor Glad, is informing me, and I know she just was delivered of quadruplets. So that is, you can see, 4. I told the VC, the incoming VC, that after this we will have to have a meeting. How we are going to thank God for what God has done for him this year. 4 kids at a time, 4. And you can see my little sister going through all that hurdles. That is why she's coming out now. Thank you for being able to come. After this, his music department, yes. So, cola not. Mr. VC. The DG budget, Ben Akabeze. DG budget of the Federation, Ben Akabeze. Welcome. Is the first Anambra person who served in the council, Executive Council of Lagos State. From there, he went into the federal appointment. DG Akabeze, welcome. Welcome. Biko Abogidi, I'm very, very sorry to take all this time. You go. Thank you very much. Vice-Chancellor, sir.
Thank you, University Rector, the chairman of our protocol, the director protocol, director information, public relations and marketing. This is a very special occasion in the life of the university system, especially here at Nnamdi Azikiwe University. We are doing a very symbolic, very special program, a handover program, installation of a Vice-Chancellor. In Kefi Declaration, this is one of those things we keep processing in the ethos of the system. And I'm happy we are here at the epicenter of Igbo land, a university named after the great son of Africa, Right Honorable Nnamdi Azikiwe, first citizen of this Federal Republic of Nigeria. And I'm proud to say that new things will always commence under the new and the wonderful man and name that we bear, Right Honorable Nnamdi Azikiwe University, Nnamdi Azikiwe University. Your Majesties, Your Highnesses, in Igbo land, before we commence any interaction, conversation, or any serious business like this one, we will present kola nuts, and that is the cherished and most cherished way of saying welcome. And our traditional rulers are here. And the face of traditional institution in the land. His Majesty Obiye Alfred Nemeka Achebe Abogidi. 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 He is here. Our institution is in Oka. As the chairman of Anambra Territorial Rulers Council, as the face of traditional institution in Igbo land, the traditional prime minister of Oka is here. Your Majesty, as onye chiri echichi n'ala Igbo, mahadum anyị nọ n'Ọka ike a. Aga m eburu ọjị were burie the traditional prime minister n'Ọka ka o were buruzie mezie were nyezie ndị igwe anyị ndị eze anyị ka e were nabata mmadụ niile ma ndị si ofesi ma ndị si mba ndị ọzọ ndị enyi mahadum anyị dịka omenala anyị si dịrị. Ọkwa ikikere ka nna anata n'aka ndị ji the tradition. Agbogidi. Ọ ikike ka nna ana ka m were buru ọjị. Otutu Ọka. Otutu Ọka. Otutu Ọka.
Biko ndị be anyị nọ n'o anyị na-asị unu nọ n'Ọka. VC, congratulations, you did very well. Anyị na nọ n'Ọka ma n'email ọfụma. Please, don't be upset if I use my language. I know I'm coming. In case you don't understand my language, whatever I'm saying at this point in time has to be in my own vernacular. So maybe you ask somebody to help you to interpret, please. Thank you. Biko Abogidi, Chairman Anambra Traditional Rulers Council. Oh, if we are not name, and my second no. Me will look for God jeba. It was me watch mana. Can quali Abogidi ugu. Look at Chairman Anambra Traditional Rulers Council Chairman. So I'm asking ngolo fugo jeba ibujelie. I'm a nye kike ko wala yoji. Dalu.
Because nobody don't know. Ndị igwe nke echi ya sị no. Igwe no. Onye isi universities na fa pụọ ọjị. Echego ọjị n'iru onye nọchiri anya eze ụzọ Ọka bụ onye nwe obodo. Ọjị dị n'aka wa n'afọ m ọjị. A ga-ebughalizi ọjị ka ndị igwe sele ofu ọjị ndị igwe niile otu ojedebe na otu ojedebe
na igwe nefa na igwe ezinif na igwe akweze na igwe ezinifte na igwe akweze na azụ igwe mụnwa Makutus. Na manya ndị igwe. Biaba. Onwe na igwe ogidi. Mfunga ahịara na igwe ndị be VC. Ka m nyechagoro ndị igwe mma. Bịa na igwe ogidi. Igwe ogidi. Na igwe ụga. Na igwe ụga. Na igwe na ndị igwe nọ ebe igwe. All right, the ndị igwe niile nọ ebe ahụ. Na igwe. Ndị igwe biko daalụnụ.
Biko ọjị agarabego ndị igwe. Biko a na-ayọzi ndị igwe na ọjị eze gara n'aka eze. So na enochilu anya ezozo. Ọ na-agọzi nke ndị igwe niile a na-agọ nke vaneva nọ. Ka ya bụ ekpere a na-ekpe Chukwu wee zue ebe niile. A na-agọlụ Vice-Chancellor NAU lụrụ ọrụ ọfụma. A na-ekene Chukwu na ọ lụrụ ọrụ ọfụma. A na-agọlụ Vice-Chancellor designate incoming until 12 midnight.
Fugo ka ọjị si aga n'ala Igbo. Otutu.
Daalụ. Agba ogidi. Ị ga-adị. Ọ eze mala ife. Mala omenala. Chukwu ga-edebe ya agba ogidi. Lekwu ndị kwenye n'ebe a. Ana m asị na ọ ga-adịla anyị mma. Vice-Chancellor nke na-apụ apụ. Ọ bụ pịa ya agịghị ọma nye nzukọ mahadum Unizik. And ọ ga-abụkwa onye na onwe ya na-ezi ụnya ngọzi. VC nke na-abata. Anyị na-asịkwa na Chukwu ga-enye ya amamihe dịka Solomon ka i wee lụọ ọrụ dịka o si kwesị na mahadum bụ Unizik. Anyị na-asịkwa dịka ndị kpere ekpere bụ na mbụ na udo ga-abịa iwe adụ n'oge gị niile. Ọgbaghara gara adị. Agamniru abụkwa ya bata na Unizik na ọchịchị gị niile. Anyị na-asị na Chukwu agọzi onye ọbụla n'ebe a. Ana anyị naba anyị ga-ejikwa ngọzi wee naba Jizọs Kraịst bụ onye nwe anyị. Daalụ no.
Ọhaneze ndị Igbo na Juhel na ndị Governing Council ka atụwa isi ọjị. Thank you very much, Abogidi. Biko, in the next few minutes, we'll be done with this program. Let me at this juncture call the chairperson of this book launch, to come and take over from here, present to us who unveil the book, present to us who will do the book review, and then we unveil and do the launching before we get into the next stanza. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm inviting Professor of Laws, the Deputy Vice-Chancellor Administration, Professor Dame Carol Arinze Omobi.
Abogidi. The Vice-Chancellor of this university, Professor Joseph Eberendo Haneko, who up to 12 o'clock midnight still in Kuwait. And the incoming Vice-Chancellor, Professor Charles Esimone, I bow. The statutory director of protocol information, and the appointed. My job is very simple. I have just been called upon to tell you who does what in relation to the book where we try to chronicle the footprints of this Vice-Chancellor, written in the sand of our times. May I, at this point, call on Professor Ikenna Onyido, FAS, and Professor Emeritus of this great university to please come forward and unveil this book. This book is just but a tiny attempt at trying to chronicle what this Colossus has done. Because if you begin from beginning to the end, you won't be able to do that. So at the end, I expect you to clap for me because I tried to scratch just a bit of what he tried to do. Thank you.
The current Vice-Chancellor, who has until 12 midnight, has directed me to tell you to invite launchers and captains of industry here to accompany him before the book will be unveiled. So carry out the instruction.
Abogidi, Vice-Chancellor of Nnamdi Azikiwe University, Professor Joseph Eberendo Ahaneku, FAS, and his dear wife, Professor Gladys Ifesinachu Ahaneku. Your Excellencies, Your Royal Highnesses, incoming Vice-Chancellor, please permit me to stand on existing protocols before I mess up what has been properly established. Just a word before I present the book. The prayer of every parent that I know is for his children to succeed and to be better than they are. I think that is where fulfillment comes from for parents. And I stand before this august audience to say that as a parent, as a father, academic and otherwise, of the Vice-Chancellor, I am a fulfilled man because he has succeeded. And he has succeeded much better than we have. It is now my duty okay, I will be the person to unveil it. My job is very simple, and that is to unveil what is hidden here to the public view and for public participation. In doing so, I have a copy in my hand, Translating Vision to Reality. That is the title of this book. We shall know better about it when the reviewer comes on board. Vice-Chancellor, congratulations.
Thank you, sir. Professor Ikenna Onyido. The book has been unveiled. And before we take further steps, I will invite some prominent people here to please help us see these books, see the books. May I call on our father, Joel, Nigerian Limited. I call on our father, Dozie Oil. And I call on our father, Neros, to please collectively help us in seeing these books. Yes, sir. Where's Neros? Where's Neros?
Abogidi, the Vice-Chancellor and incoming Vice-Chancellor. All protocols duly observed. You people tend to forget that I'm a staff of this university. Like most of you sitting here, I'm a lecturer like you. So I manage myself like any lecturer. That notwithstanding, what we have here is an unbelievable piece that everyone will want to see. However, I could have appreciated having most of my colleagues. Incidentally, I happen to be a pharmacist, and the incoming Vice-Chancellor, the outgoing one, the incoming Vice-Chancellor is a pharmacist, the outgoing one is a very close friend of pharmacists, to the extent that he actually contributed to the discovery of some pharmaceutical products, which he might have to tell you himself. So without taking much of your time, I will keep the book. I could have said I won't say anything. However, I will still keep it for a little sum of 500,000. Thank you.
Thank you. The former VC or the VC now. For this morning, congratulations once again. All protocols observed. Abogidi, Anamekanegi. I don't have much to say other than to pick few copies with a sum of 250,000 naira.
Abogidi, or the outgoing Vice-Chancellor and the incoming Vice-Chancellor. Other protocols duly observed. I want to, on behalf of my principal, Dozie, CEO, Dr. Saddam Chukwudozie, take some look into the book. Actually, I was thinking the book would have been reviewed for us to know really the content, what makes it thick. But that not being the case, I am looking at it. It's a beautiful masterpiece. So we have a duty to support this kind of a project.
And we do know that the outgoing Vice-Chancellor has done quite a lot within this university environment. And we've been following the transformational program in the university. And we are a kind of benefactors of the university, and we intend to key into the vision of the incoming Vice-Chancellor. So what I'm trying to say in effect is that the book given me, we are going to collect copies of it, stretching down to our headquarters there with a check of how much now? Well, I think we have 1 million naira. That's what.
My jurisdiction has been expanded to invite Igwe Ogidi, Igwe Onyido, sorry, to also come and see the book. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, MC. Abogidi, our chairman, the Vice Chancellor, the outgoing and the incoming Vice Chancellor, I'm proud to be here today. I reckon to support my colleague, also a fellow like myself. I wasn't well aware of this book, but I will keep one with me at the sum of 500,000 naira. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Your Majesty. Thank you. A former governing council member of this university, Senator Ben Collins Ndu, is taking a copy with 500,000 naira. Somebody is representing Mr. Clems Mwobo. Can you please step forward?
Thank you, Mr. Vice-Chancellor and the incoming Vice-Chancellor. I'm representing our own dear Dr. Clem Mwobo, who is unavoidably absent today. He has two messages for the Vice-Chancellor and the incoming Vice-Chancellor. And then he said that I should pick one of the books with a beautiful sum of 500,000 naira.
Thank you very much. Please extend our greetings. May I humbly call on Professor J.C. Odibo to please step forward and do a very short book review. Please, Professor J.C. Odibo.
Thank you. No, it is impossible. Professor, to talk for 5 minutes. It's impossible. Yes. Does that work? Okay. Abogidi, Abogidi, Abogidi. The Vice-Chancellor, Professor Joseph Haneke, and the wife, the incoming Vice-Chancellor, Professor Charles Simone, members of the council here present, ladies and gentlemen, I have been asked to do a very difficult job in 5 minutes. And I've told him that a professor cannot talk just for 5 minutes. I cannot review a book on Ahaneku for 5 minutes.
it is impossible. In a serene but legendary town of Nnamambia, Ahịa in Imo State, Nigeria, was born to the family of Dame Laz and Da Elizabeth Adure Anganeku. On the 1st of October 1962, a baby boy whose star was seen at cradle, like the biblical star of the birth of Christ seen by the Magi. The young Joseph, like his peers, passed through several vicissitudes of life, but carved a niche for himself in academics at a relatively very young age, with a meteoric rise to the rank of professor at the age of 35 years. Thus, the beginning of a new era for Professor Joseph Ahaneku. This new era has been vividly captured in this 213-paged book, 213-paged book, Translating Vision to Reality. The book highlights the huge success achieved by a seer and sagacious man who translated his vision and mission to the development of Nnamdi Azikiwe University in teaching and learning, infrastructure, university administration, staff and students' welfare, etc. The compilers of this book have presented it in 9 chapters, with the foreword written by the Pro-Chancellor and Chairman, Governing Council of Nnamdi Azikiwe University, Alhaji Aziz Bello. Chapter 1. This chapter, captioned Preparation, highlights the birth and education of Professor Ahaneku, his career profile, both as an administrator and academic, and his honors and distinctions. I must not fail to mention here the groundbreaking research of this erudite professor on clinidipine, a precursor of the hypertensive drug amlodipine. I know many of us here took amlodipine this morning before coming. Through this cerebral work, he was able to attract numerous grants that propelled his academic growth. Academics aside, he has undergone tutelage in strategic leadership and management position by serving in Senate committees, and council and its committees. To mature him in the intricate process of decision-making. Thus, Professor Ahaneku was adequately prepared at the point of applying for the exalted position of Vice-Chancellor in 2014. Chapter 2. In Chapter 2, you will find the vision and mission that drove the administration of Professor Ahaneku. In his inaugural speech on the assumption of office in June 2014, the Vice-Chancellor succinctly outlined his vision and roadmap for the university, to wit, to work towards Nnamdi Azikiwe University emerging as one of the best 500 universities in the world, one of the best 100 universities in Africa, and eventually the best university in Nigeria. The thrust of this vision was to bequeath institutional character, research focus, and academic culture and orientation to the university. To actualize this vision, Professor Ahaneku articulated his vision and mission 555, a 5-point agenda encapsulated in 5 strategies to be accomplished in a 5-year implementation plan. The agenda are listed and copiously discussed in the book and form the subject of subsequent chapters. Chapter 3, General and Inclusive Administration. The Vice-Chancellor was committed to excellence at all levels, and his vision and mission drove his administration to establish core goals that supported inclusivity and diversity with respect to staff and the students. He was people-oriented, a good listener, patient and understanding, showing genuine interest in others. He made his appointment against the backdrop of excellence, inclusivity, and diversity. A catalog of achievements of this great man in various departments and units and labor union management relations are captured in this chapter. Chapter 4, Advancing Academic Culture. Professor Haneku, an erudite scholar, worked assiduously towards the transformation of Nnamdi Azikiwe University into a world-class university by promotion of academic excellence and culture among staff and students. This he achieved by establishment of centers of learning and new academic programs, ensuring that all the academic programs of the university and affiliate institutions were duly accredited by National Universities Commission and the professional bodies. In fact, as of today, 90.9% of our undergraduate academic programs have full accreditation status. 9% with interim status, and 0.1% for newly matured program. He regularized convocation ceremonies, which are now annual events. Hitherto, this important academic culture of the university was almost extinct. He regularized the inaugural lectures, encouraging public lectures, workshops, and other academic discourses. With respect to inaugural lectures, he approved 100% funding of inaugural lectures. And because of this improved funding, there is now an avalanche of a request for professors to give their inaugural lectures. Now also he promoted staff development through fellowships, acquisition of higher degrees, and attendance to conferences. And also he promoted international collaboration and linkages, library, and ICT development. In chapter 5, Research and Development, this chapter expounds on the great achievements of Professor Haneku on the area of research and development and fostering town and gown relationship. During the tenure of Professor Haneku, the UNIZIC research culture received significant fostering through various supportive measures, which range from research training for staff and postgraduate students, as well as establishment of various specialized research units. The establishment of the Directorate of Research, Innovation, and the University Relations by the Vice-Chancellor has, among other achievements, promoted product-oriented researches for the development of intellectual property. At least 4 intellectual properties are at various stages of patent protection, as exemplified on page 168 of this book. Chapter 6, Internally Generated Revenue. The Vice-Chancellor worked fervently to improve the financial base of the university, bearing in mind that this university has not received any takeoff grant fund from the federal government of Nigeria for infrastructural development. The records show that from June 2014 to March 2019, this university generated a whopping sum of 13.3 billion naira. Little wonder the avalanche of infrastructural development in the university. Chapter 7, Students and Staff Welfare. This chapter highlights giant strides of the Vice-Chancellor in the welfare of students and staff. These include, among others, student hostels, construction and renovation of the existing one, landscaping and beautification of the hostel environment, unflinching support of the administration to the Student Affairs Division, etc. The Vice-Chancellor also extended his web of progress and innovation to the two staff schools, Unizik High School and the Nursery and Primary School. Promotion of staff. Staff were promoted as at when due. It is on record that as at 30th May 2019, that's last Thursday, Unizik, under the tenure of Professor J.A.R. Haneku, had produced 412 readers and professors, a feat unsurpassed by any Vice-Chancellor. Chapter 8, Infrastructural Development. This chapter, laced with pictorial features, revealed the numerous projects executed by the Vice-Chancellor. Funds for the project were sourced from NEEDS, TED Fund, and IGR, and federal capital budget releases, and were prudently managed in order to actualize these projects. I may not bother you with a list of the numerous projects, but when you get a copy of this book, it will tell the story better. Chapter 9, which is conclusion, and this is titled Summarizing the Trails of a Colossus. This chapter concluded this book with caption summarizing the trails of a Colossus. Yes, a Colossus, not in height, as he is not richly endowed, but an academic and administrative Colossus. A sage, yes, a sage, yet a young man, and a humanist. A man who will appeal to conscience rather than using the sledgehammer. Pillars of achievement, including among others, are introduction of core values of a university system, maintenance of peace and security on campus, initiated an open, transparent, and inclusive administration via committee system, enhanced staff and student welfare and staff development. He fought cultism on campus to a standstill like a general, which he is. Improved infrastructure for teaching and learning, promoted research and development, and above all, maintained a cordial relationship between the university and her neighbors, etc., etc. Miriam, you could not have achieved this overflowing basket of success without your amiable and supportive wife. Glad. I will end this review by recommending this book to every academic, every administrator, in fact, to all and sundry. In particular, to you professors, nursing the idea of becoming a vice-chancellor. Then pick a copy of this book and learn from Professor Haneku's Vision and Mission 555, a 5-point agenda, encapsulated in 5 strategies that drove the success of his administration and you will become one. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, the DAP. Nobody could have done it better than this, particularly in the time frame. There are one or two people who very quickly invite to come and announce their presence here by substance. And the chairman of the book is directing that I should, before any other person, invite Professor Ike Chebelo, Director, Life Hospitals, the biggest in Nigeria, if not in Africa. Ike Chebelo. Ike Chebelo, beautiful. I know you couldn't have too endowed in size, but in brain. He's a professor. Need Joseph. Because you Ike Chebelo microphone. This is the time to come and struggle for the microphone if you have the substance. We won't be here for more than 5 minutes. This is the time. Ike Chebelo. Open if I know microphone. Yes, to pick a book, one or two.
Abogidi. The Vice-Chancellor. Till 12 midnight. And Professor Joseph. And I'm actually another Joseph. And I have worked with him very closely. And I got some of my inspirations from him to rise to the level of professor. So it's a great pleasure for me to be here today and to do this honor. The incoming Vice-Chancellor, I recognize, and all members of the council, standing on all the existing protocols. So on behalf of the Life International Group, we want to take 2 copies of the book with a sum of 500,000 naira.
Thank you,
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And the former minister for education, has said I should give her the microphone. Professor Viola. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you very much, the Deputy Vice-Chancellor. Your Imperial Majesty, our dear father, my very good friend, the Vice-Chancellor, my younger brother, Professor Joseph Ahaneku, and my dear wife, his wife, Professor Glad, the incoming Vice-Chancellor and his wife, Professor Charles Esimonu. Esimoni. So, Esimone. Okay.
Esimone.
Makes more sense. And council members, Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, fellow academics and colleagues, gentlemen of the fourth rim of the estate, the press, I'm really very pleased and happy to be here this afternoon to come to support my younger brother. And I'll say on behalf of the Mbise Nation.
Please, a round of applause for that. I'm going to say back. Great.
On behalf of the Mbise Nation.
That is so.
I proudly stand to commend a great son of the land.
Yes.
That you found worthy. You've also found, qualified to earn your encomiums and all the kudos today. My dear brother, we are very proud of you. You left the shores of Mbise and Imo State and came to this land. You've worked selflessly. You achieved a lot from what they have all said. And I'm very happy that they appreciate you a great deal with chieftaincy titles, with other things. Thank you very much for doing us proud. And I know that next time an Mbise man is applying for VC-ship, it will be carry go. So I'm really very pleased. Usually I wouldn't come out on the 3rd of June. Because 3rd of June, you know what Nigeria saw and what some of us saw on the 3rd of June 2012, when the Dana air crash happened. It was around this time. And I lost my husband and over 150 other Nigerians. So please, may we in their honor just rise for a moment of silence. as a service to the Nigerian nation. May the soul of Professor Celestine Onwulere, former Vice-Chancellor of FUTO, and the souls of all the other Nigerians that died with him in the Dana air crash, and the souls of all the faithful departed, through the mercy of God, rest in peace. Please resume your seats. When I was coming, I called our new governor of Imo State, Right Honorable Emeka Ihedioha, because today he has a very serious event, the swearing in of the new SSG and some of the government house staff. They are the swearing in ceremony. So he called me. I told him I was on my way to Oka. That's why I can't be at the ceremony. So he has asked that I send his greetings to you, and indeed to all I will meet in this trip. Mr. Vice-Chancellor, I've heard what was read, the review of the book, and I didn't expect less because of where you're coming from. Clap for him, Joe. Jealousy no go kill una. Yes. So I know that when we were at FUTO, was also in Cummins like that for the MBC man that was Vice-Chancellor there, Professor Onwulere. And his younger brother is also achieving this great feat here. So we thank God for everything. It's all the grace of God, isn't it? And I'm happy with all the prayers we've prayed for the new Vice-Chancellor. And I'm sure he will also achieve a whole lot. You came before in my absence. You'll come again when we celebrate victory. So I want to thank everybody, thank the Deputy Vice-Chancellor for organizing this. I'm going to pick 3 copies of the book. And before I do that, I also want to commend your students. I wear a low cut, and the young man that does my hair in Abuja, eventually, through the Vice-Chancellor, he got admitted into UNIZIK. And with the barbing he does, he paid his school fees here. And he told me, he just graduated. He told me that his parents didn't know how much he paid or how much he went to school with. Each time he came back to Abuja, he goes back to the salon where he started and continued with the barbing thing. And the change, the discipline, the young man is very, very proud of UNIZIK. Talks about security, he said his university is the best. He talks about academic, and I really want to congratulate the lecturers, the vice-chancellors, and all those that have made this university, a pride of place for not just the staff, but for the students. So I want to thank you and pray that the good Lord will lead everybody back. And for our dear father and royal father, may your days be long. And thank you for always being there for us. Anywhere you invite him, he'll be there to support. So, on behalf of my family, I am taking these 3 copies. I'll give the governor one, and I'm sure he will speak to it. But for my own, I'll whisper to him what I'm going to do with my own. Those of us that worked with President Jonathan, we are almost like an endangered species in this APC central government, so we are very careful. Murunimo State, now I'm PDP, make we show quick. But beyond that, let's watch what will happen at the center. Maybe God will hear our prayers. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
Thank you, ma. Thank you very much. Yes. Thank you very much. Thank you. May we quickly welcome Chief Edinwo Okoye, Director of Finance of the Federal Ministry of Education, Abuja. Chief Edinwo Okoye, welcome, sir. May we also welcome... I know I'll take it with this. May we also welcome Professor Antonio Stadimu Igwebwe, CMD of Nnamdi Azikiwe University Teaching Hospital. Igwebwe, you're welcome, sir. And our own Professor Ben Odo, former SSG Ebonyi State Government. Professor Odo, you're welcome. Somebody has come to support the Igwe of Ogidi, Chief Chima Anwuzulike KSM Akuchukwu Ogidi. He's supporting the Igwe of Ogidi with the sum of 100,000 naira.
Thank you.
And then pharmacist Dozie Anya Achebelo. Sorry, Gozie Anya Achebelo, MD Gos Pharmaceuticals Soka, is picking 2 copies with the sum of 100,000.
Thank you, University Orator. May I humbly call on my ASU Vice President, Professor Osedoke, to please see the book for just 1 minute. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. The Vice-Chancellor and the Chairman of Committee of Vice-Chancellor kindly permit me to stand on existing protocol. This is the first time ASU as a union is attending the ceremony of a Vice-Chancellor who is exiting. It's literally the very Vice-Chancellor who enjoyed that ceremony from the union is also in this hall, Professor Ikenna. So it's a pleasure being here. Before the coming in of Professor Haneku, our union here was in turmoil. I actually remember we came here to organize election and we were surrounded by guns. Security men carrying guns. But for the period, the past 4 years or 5 years, we have enjoyed one of the best relationships between union and management in this university. And my prayer is that the incoming Vice-Chancellor, sir, incoming Vice-Chancellor.
Can you let him hear?
Please, we also expect that incoming Vice-Chancellor will also have that type of relationship with our union. Many say our union is a union that look for strike and what have you, but if there's a good relationship between the union and the administration, you have peace, as you have had here, and there's development. So on that note, my president had requested that we should collect 10 copies for the sum of 100,000 naira.
Please, a round of
10
applause.
copies for 10 copies.
You can imagine 100,000 from us means 10 million naira from any sitting government or government official. A round of applause to us.
And the members of governing council have said I should announce that they are going to see us in a grand style. Thank you very much.
Thank you. My great-in-law has requested that I should recognize the presence of my brother here, Ichiesa and Mrs. Boniface of Ebunam, of Enugu Others Kingdom. Thank you very much. Please, may I request, I can see the prof, old boy of the great school that produced our own Simone, Same from Cameroon. Sir, you're welcome. Oh, you hear him man on Bisen Galileo. Mamo, Amalamugua. Great pediatric. I had since acknowledged him. Yes. Sir, welcome. Amabum she's in Bisen. I was, yes. Great lion.
Yes, I'm one of the people who tamed the lions.
Oh, great.
At UNTH.
The great pediatrician. Right. Welcome, sir. So you want to have the microphone?
Yes.
My privilege and pleasure.
Obogidi, Vice-Chancellor, outgoing, and your beautiful wife, who is a very well-known cardiologist, the incoming Vice-Chancellor, a great Soban. For some of you who may not understand what Soban means, that's the best secondary school in the whole of West Africa. It is situated in a village at the foot of the mountain in the British Cameroons. Many of us were privileged to go to that school because our parents and guardians went there when it was British Cameroons. And it made us what we are. Let me say something, Mr. Vice-Chancellor. When I drove into the university today, what struck me was the statue of the great Zik. It brought a lot of emotion to me because in my days, my youthful days, I served him as physician to the State House in Lagos from 1964 to 66. And I drove around the compound and saw another statue of Professor Wanko in front of the library. Professor Wanko was a great pediatric surgeon who worked with us at University of Nigeria Teaching Hospital, Enugu. And indeed, he did the first operation on Siamese twins in the whole of Nigeria and in West Africa. We work closely together. So it's a pleasure to be here today, Mr. Vice Chancellor. And the other thing is that you are my younger brother. And that's the reason I came. I say, in spite of the bad road, I must come. And not only is a younger brother, we are all from Ahira. I'm from the great Mbise. I know the family too well, even before he was born. So it's a pleasure to be here. You are a jewel of Mbise. Everybody talks about you in the village. And I'm very proud of you. And I'm glad I'm here to honor you. And so thank you very much for what you've done for us. As for Professor Simone, he's the chairman of the Old Boys Association. They're all sitting there in blue and red ties. And we have come here today to honor him. You see, and I would like to say one thing to you. Remember Sase. Sase taught us 4 good things, namely integrity, hard work, diligence, and spirituality. Those should be your foundation for work. And I have no doubt you will succeed well. Professor, my brother here has done a lot of good things here, but I hope you will put on more to make it better. This university is an excellent university for the people of Igbo land and for Nigeria, and we are very proud of you. I would like to buy this book. As a poor retired professor, I'm not going to give the type of thing that I give to you, but I still have to buy the book. I would like to buy 2 of the books. I'll give one to my son, who is a professor of econometrics, and I'll give it to him. And I'll keep one. I give it to my wife, who is a barrister, to read also. For that reason, may I have 2 copies for 100,000 naira? Thank you very much.
Please, a round of applause for Prof. Thank you very much. Thank you. Sir, thank you very much. Thank you. The director of Confucius, Professor Job Yu, is picking a copy with 100,000 naira. Let me invite, when Prof was speaking, he said, despite all the bad roads, I just want to add that all the bad roads stopped at Anambra. From Anambra to Imo, you have terrible roads. That is for the governor of Imo State. We've been doing well in Anambra, at least for roads. Yes, I stand to be challenged. The bad roads from Anambra to Imo. From Enugu and the Anambra were good roads. Uche Apakama has requested he wants to come up. Uche, I will give you the audience because I know what you can do. Joe Gold after that. And let me recognize Chief Mo Dozie, Itego Oil and Gas. And also my very good friend, Honorable Sabisi Ejidike, Ikwelen Nabenyi. Please, you're welcome. Uche Apakama, pharmacist Uche Apakama.
Thank you very much. On behalf of my organization, Pharmacies, I will request the VC by tomorrow, Professor Simone, to take 20 copies to the Library of the Faculty of Pharmaceutical Sciences for under 200,000 naira. Thank you.
Please, a round of applause for that. 400,000 naira from pharmacist Uche Apakama. 20 to the pharmaceutical library at Agolo, and then 2 to his library at Onitsha. Any other persons coming up? Joe Gold, Chief. Joe Gold is picking 2 copies for 100,000 naira. Please, CMD, Professor Igwebwe, great CMD.
Okay. Abogidi. Okay, then.
the Vice-Chancellor, Professor Handover. You are still on, you are still in charge, and you are still the commander. The incoming, my friend Professor Esimode, I salute everybody. I'm part of the community. I just stepped aside to serve the hospital. And in the next, in less than 2 years, I'll be back. No, less than that. I'll be back. Milioma, I have summarized by saying that you came, you saw, and you have conquered. And this is also my prayer for the incoming. You will do better. This is our prayer. And the hospital, the university will keep going to greater heights. And at the same time, the teaching hospital, because we work together and we continue that relationship. I will pick 3 copies for myself at the hospital for a course that will be announced later, because I can see my DG is here. Beth, I don't want to be queried. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Prof. So, Obukoka, Chief Executive Jogol, we thank you for your support. Obukoka, thank you. We speak 2 copies for 100,000.
Ndi Igwe OAU, yeah, well, 1 copy for the sum of 50,000. And Igwe Zinifite, Sina Professor Hanekubu, cabinet chief here, and because of that, he will take 1 copy for 50,000.
Igwe Ezinifite, thank you very much. Before we go over to the installation, Miriama, we hand over to let you know after 12 minutes that you will hand over. All right. Director, VC, because permit here another 5 minutes so that we can take. Oh, it's okay. Very well. Very well. Mokoye. Very well. Welcome, sir.
Abogidi. The outgoing VC, the incoming VC, and also the Igwe Suneba, because let me start on the existing protocol. Abameba, because of 3 reasons. 1, I am from Federal Ministry of Education. 2, I'm from just in the boarding town, I'm over here. And then thirdly, I've come to appreciate the council that actually saw to the emergence of a VC. Because to appoint a VC is not an easy thing, even though there are, the university law is straightforward on the appointment of VC. But you will recall that, there will always be, interventions here and there. Incidentally, I'm a member of UNN Council. I represent the Ministry of Education and the University of Nigeria and Suka Council. And we have just appointed the son of Oka, Professor Charles Igwe, the VC of University of Nigeria and Suka. Well, the book they're talking about, because my ministry, my permanent secretary knows that I'm coming here, I'll have to carry 3 copies of the book. I will give my permanent secretary 1 book. I'll take 1 for myself, and I'll make sure that 1 is placed in the library of Federal Ministry of Education. So for these 3 books, I want to put a token sum of 100,000 naira.
Thank you very much, Chief Nwokoye Dalo. I was just informed, I didn't know. My kid brother, Emeka Okeke, the de facto and the jury GU that is around, that is the 3rd son of GU, of the 6 boys. Emeka, will you be upstanding? You must say something since you're here. Pharmacist Emeka Okeke of the GUO extraction.
Abogidi. Anyị ncha bụ ụmụ ya. the VC, Professor Haneku, and my very big brother, Anochabayek and Mambu Ogunu from the GUO group, 150,000 naira. And from Rice Clinic, Adaziane, 150,000 naira. Dalon.
Emeka, thank you very much. 200,000. Emeka, I hope the arithmetic is correct. 300. Well, no, why? You should even step it further than this. It's my brother. 300 for the public for now. By the time we get to settling down, it has to get beyond this. Emeka, thank you very much. The beautiful lady standing. What is the lady? Come up, step up in grand style. Take the microphone, take your time, talk to us.
Mr. Vice-Chancellor, I want to stand on the already existing protocol. I, Dr. Choma, was here, wants to pick 2 of this book for 2 of my children. One is a pharmacist who is a product of the incoming Vice-Chancellor, Professor Charles Okechukwu Simone, and a medical student at NAU, who was given admission by Professor Joseph Eberendo Ahaneku Miriama. So I want to pick 2 of this book with a sum of 100,000 naira, but I'm paying 50 cash now.
100,000. When she was just behind here, the deputy vice chancellor said, oh. No. CMD emeritus. Oh, I finish up. The deputy vice chancellor said, well, can't I see that lady standing out there? The ladies must talk. And I said, who am I? Coming from her and stepping, see what she has done. 100,000 naira, and she's paying 50,000 cash. Beyond if I could ladies. Come and couple. Professor Ofieli, because there is another lady, there were 2 stars. I know you will always understand, Professor Ofieli, former CMD. Speak to us.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm the friend of Professor and Mrs. Joseph Eberendo Ahaneku Miriama worldwide. And also a friend of Professor Charles Esimone. No, I'm your friend too. No. And wife, I said Mrs. I can't say anything about the 2 of them. It's only God that will say, and God has been with them too. And will also remain with Professor Esimone and go with Professor Haneku wherever he's going. We are there. I'll pick one of these books with a sum of one of them with the sum of 100,000 naira.
A round of applause, Professor Ofieli, former CMD.
Thank you. I'm Professor Robinson Ofieli, a foundation staff of Nnamdi Azikiwe University. We have seen it all, but we have never had it so good. I worked with all the vice-chancellors so far. By the grace of God, we have been specially blessed by his administration. And the blessing will continue with our new vice-chancellor. In the name of Jesus. Amen. I am the academics and I'm a surgeon. We are not given to long speeches. I will take 3 copies of this book at a cost of 100,000 naira. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Very short speech, but very long. 100,000 is indeed a long speech for us. Thank you.
Abogidi. Your Royal Majesty is a neighbor of my Vice-Chancellor, my incoming Vice-Chancellor, and brother. Let me introduce myself first. I am Basil Ezanolwe, a professor of otorhinolaryngology at the University of Nigeria, Enugu campus. But I'm incidentally taking your medical students at NAU for more than 20 years. But before I continue, I must pay my respect to Professor Okahialam, Okahelan was my teacher in the medical school. He was a professor when we were medical students in Enugu campus. So Professor Okahelan, I bow and tremble. You can see how he's strong. I hope I'll be like you when I grow up, sir. My brother is the incoming Vice-Chancellor. And of course, we have been associated with you. And of course, the amiable wife at our workstations at NAU. I can see my CMD, Brian D. Go and greet Okahelan before you fail your pediatrics. We are classmates in the medical school, Professor Adema. So I am so pleased about the events going on today. And I've come to take 2 copies of the book for 100,000 naira.
Biko igwe Isuofia si na ya unu mana ndị igwe ada eme ife problem fa ada enwe ego mana mgbe igwe bịara ebe a si na ọ bụla igwe ba si na nọmba m ihwe nọmbarị na ọ ga-emelili mmekwanụ nnukwu ego and I'm overwhelmed mana igwe ya na ya nọdebele igwe ezira ka njele maka ọ si na m akpọ ịma ndị old agụata fa na-enye ezigbo nsogbu and fa nwere good reason na me recognize rofa wee na-achọ opportunity m ga-esi wee apologize mana unu ma enwe m royal blood a sị na nwa eze tiji ọdụ wele nke nna ya kwụọ ụgwọ esi m na royal family so ndị igwe ana m aghọta language unu biko igwe ezira I'm very very sorry for the purported slight I couldn't have. It was not deliberate mana ịma ezira ehike akwọ azụ obodo mana fa na-eme ọfụma rinne nwanne unu nwoke jele wee chi oko and o mere ọfụma onye nke anyị ya mgbe Paul ọnụ jebele oko ọ na post science ka ọ nọ ebe a mgbanwe abụ ndị law bụrụ din post science unu bịazi na ama law na post science nke din ya ka mana igwe Isuofia ezigbo mmadụ chairman ori igwe agụ atọ ndị chila aha na-eku igwe unu mana aha na-eku unu na-ene like DAP said ọdịrọ 2 gifts asị na ọdịrọ 2 gifts there is gịnị bụ size o tokali etu oji ogologo nwa eme gịnị I think he's tall enough. He's tall enough. If I'm on a Professor Ebokani, or same Ken, are you standing up or sitting? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The point is that I think I am big and tall enough. So that because we are not easy subjects of diabetes or mucoya because we eat well and we look well. So Miriam, don't bother about you shouldn't even be taller than this. Thank you very much. So, Igwe Isuofia Siniane was 50,000 naira to support this thing. We'll look up in Abonia. Can we make progress? I think we've tried. Igwe Akweze. Simone, your royal father, Igwe, Ezibo Made. Igwe Obala. Onwe obosi ai biali do a guy si na ya man no ni loli ni ai ba nu na moro ni na le mo di ofuma. It's for another day. Igwe no oh. Igwe si na ya bụ na ekwuru ogwo mti na mkia ọ ga-eweli microphone maka ọnya nwa bụ igwe nwụtalụ Esimone ị ga-ekwu ya ekwu all good for 1 second. It's okay. Ọ sị ka ya were 50,000 Igwe Obala Igwe Akweze otutu ọdụgwọnụ nke ị ga-eme ife as the last igwe nọ ebe ka ị wee malụ ka ị ga-esi tele ya ka ndị igwe na-abịagodo ifu ebe aka nọ 50 mgbe ọ gbagota ikwuzie as the igwe of ọkaka ha ifuru ka ndị igwe na-ana ka ndị igwe na-ana ebetala aka kwụsie wee na bụ mmiri ọgba he will come last for ka o tele anya. The only igwe m ga-adị worried about bụ Agbogidi because he has to catch a 4 o'clock flight. But I still have 1 hour. Oh no, 30 minutes. 30 minutes. Igwe Ezira. Okam wetana my fro. Kama na mbagala inye ma ga complete. Oh, ezigbo mmadụ ezi. Ndị igwe ade wekwanụ nnukwu iwe. Thank you very much. Ezigbo mmadụ. Oh, Igwe Ezira ezigbo mmadụ. 20,000 na wejeni a copy. Igwe Ezira. Daalụ sọ. Onwere igwe biko nyena m 10 minutes ndị igwe ka na-ewe n'aka enu biko ka ndị igwe kwucha no matter what they are doing let them finish.
Igwe DG of
Deputy VC admin. Yeah, so DG of the Eagles.
Igwe DG of madam. Igwe resini ya ga-emenata ife in your support. Igwe DG of Ufuma, ọ sị na ya na-eme 50,000. Igwe DG of Ufuma, 50,000. Itego Oil and Gas, landlord university. Ezigbo mmadụ, 100,000. Ọ dị ka 3 copies, weta na 3 copies, 100,000. Itego. Atadọkwanụ ọ na-abụ onye ego ya na-anya ya lọ ọ dekwu ya edi ọ ga-achọ ka ya mee bịa weta na igwe isu ọfịa ego.
Thank you very much, the University Rector. We can see that our guests, some of us and some of them, have engagement by 2 o'clock, 2:30, and thereabout. The sale of the book will continue, but we have to go into this very crucial moment. I will stand and make my remark before I actually embark on this installation aspect of our program.
Professor Joanne Kumiyama,
Thank you very much, Mr. Department of Nanda-Azikiwe University. Your Excellencies, Your Majesties, National President of ASU, members of Governing Council, Nanda-Azikiwe University, Deputy Vice-Chancellor Administration and other members of our university, principal officers that are here, DG budget of our federation, captains of industries, our incoming Vice-Chancellor, and the wonderful wife, Mama Ejiano. Our people and friends from Akweze, Igwe Akweze. Our people and brothers and relations from Nanabia Osuacharoko, led by the traditional ruler here, Eze Pius Onyekwere, Mfuna Lankano of Ahia Osuacharoko. Friends of Nanda-Azikiwe University, my brothers, my siblings that are here, led by my great uncle, Pastor Tony Haneku, and my own brother, Chief Salio Haneku. The leader of the ruling National Party in Anambra State, Chief Ejidike, Chairman of APC, Anambra State. Students of Nanda-Azikiwe University, our great visitors from far and near. Otutuoka, when I saluted the majesties, I included you as the traditional prime minister of Oka, because you're here representing Ezuzu Nkoka. Gentlemen of the press, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. In the life of Nnamdi Azikiwe University, today, even in the life of our university system, today for us is a great day. I've just seen members of the 7th Governing Council of Nnamdi Azikiwe University. This is the first time 7th Governing Council appointed Professor Joseph Eberendo Haneko. 8th Governing Council appointed Professor Charles Okechukwu Esimone, and they are all here. Senator Ben Collins Ndo was a member of the 7th Governing Council, and Pastor Adoye representing the ministry. They are both here. They get back to this Vice-Chancellor that is living. And His Excellency Surveyor Abioda Luku, and the High Chief Ago, and all the other members of Governing Council that are here, the professors, and our comrade and our brother Elias, all of them, they are all, and including the provost, they are members of the 8th Governing Council that produced this incoming Vice-Chancellor. Honestly, this is the best we can have for the enterprise. And I'm happy, fulfilled, and I thank God that this is happening here at Nnamdi Azikiwe University, happening here at the epicenter of Igbo land, happening in this administration. And for us, it will become a remarkable thing, because I just, on the 28th, we did our transition level of Vice-Chancellors universities. I was their chairman between September 2017, and we have also elected my successor, who is the current Vice-Chancellor of Barrow University, Kano. He's succeeding me. So for us, this is the last hope. And in the university system, we must learn all the ethos and the best practices. And we should rewrite all the wrongs we see in the society. There should not be bickerings. There are traditions and there are rules. So I want to thank immensely and very profusely the members of the Governing Council, the 8th Governing Council of Nnamdi Azikiwe University, for working so harmoniously, being filled with the Spirit of God, and being found worthy as men and women of integrity, for selecting seamlessly a Vice-Chancellor, the 6th Vice-Chancellor of Nnamdi Azikiwe University, in the person and personality of Professor Charles Okechukwu Esimone FS. In this audience, we have fathers, we have grandfathers. Very soon we'll start having great-grandfathers in the enterprise, in academia. And that is the beauty of the whole thing. So symbolically, we said in our university, the university of all times, instead of doing installation and handover that is done secretly, sometimes given, or you could just go and sit on the seat. No person will notice when you have assumed. I have been part of this university. I've been here for 29 years, and I know how we witness the transitions in all the other, administrations. In some, there was nothing handed over. In others, the day to reach, you just go and sit on your seat. But here we are. We started with prayers. Nnamdi Azikiwe University is a praying community. We are in the hands of God. We have wonderful benefactors. We have the turn and gown. We have our friends in the diaspora. We have networked and we have created visibility and mobility for our students and our children and our workers. And we want to internalize so that publicly, as we have invited our royal fathers, we've invited the business people, we've invited the investors, we've invited the benefactors, we've invited the academic community, that the incoming Vice-Chancellor will embrace all these friends, all the people that have helped this university and that are helping this university as they are seated. You can see all the traditional rulers. For instance, as the outgoing Vice-Chancellor, I'm the Ide Jimuta of Aguata, Old Aguata. I respect and we respect the traditional institution. And because we operate in three ways in the system: research, learning, and community service. The community component, the community service component is also key. And through the traditional rulers, we can drive all that. So we are earnestly very grateful that you are here in your numbers. And we will shortly, in the next 5-10 minutes, do the symbolic installation with a handover publicly, so that we'll hand over the traditional institution, we'll hand over the friends of the university, we'll hand over the praying community of the university. We started since yesterday, this morning, and we even did our interdenominational service here. We have prayed, and God is kind and faithful. So all our friends, all the people, all those that supported the administration that is ending 12 midnight today, please, I played with you that this university is still your own and it's still ours. Extend the same measure and even more to Professor Charles Okechukwu Esumone. University is a continuum. He is not going to learn new things. He was my Deputy Vice-Chancellor Academic for 4 years, finished and became my special advisor, academic matters. Now he's stepping in as the Vice-Chancellor. I passed through the same route during my own time. And the culture that will internalize best practices and produce results for the system should be propelled and processed properly. So that is why I'm thanking all the eminent and highly distinguished personalities that are here. I have seen the old boys or old students. Soban, my elder, senior brother, teacher, Professor Okayalam. When he stepped out here, indeed, I got a bit confused. Because we started hearing about him as a professor even when we were in primary school. And when I saw the DG budget, I said, thank God that at least I'm sure of one thing. That when we can't see him, whenever we can't reach him, we see him on television and we wave. During roundtables, he's out there, we were at the other side. But here, there's a bond. Nanda Zikiwe University is bonded to various entities of both government, industries. Please, that level of cooperation, that level of bond should please endure. I urge all of us to continue to pray for Professor Esimone. He will do well. I'm very confident. But we need to pray for him. You've heard, we will sit down. The unions we have, we are part of it, and we are solving the problems. Responsible leadership, even in unionism, is what we need. And we have that here at Nnamdi Azikiwe University. And we will continue in the level of engagement and interaction so that our university will move from level to level. Your Majesty, sorry we have taken your time. But for the fact that you are here, sir, the heavens, the seen and unseen, within and around the entire state, they are seeing and understanding. You are representing not only the traditional institution, Nnamdi Azikiwe University, Zik of the world, the name we bear and the name we are bearing. You are the face of Igbo land. And in particular, the Zik of Africa, from your domain. We are happy it's happening here. And you are present, giving oxygen to this nascent innovation in the university system, in terms of governance, in terms of operation, in terms of ethos, in terms of how to process the rituals in the academia. Ladies and gentlemen, 1 minute, I'll go in and come out with the incoming.
Play something. Play that. Play that. Morning, whatever. Just play.
Hello, hello. Hello. Please, may we just give us 2 more minutes for the official handover. Just see what is going to happen. This is why we are all here. This is the main thing.
Your Excellencies, members of the Governing Council, Your Majesties, members of the Academia, represented by the National President of ASU, captains of industries, the 6th substantive Vice-Chancellor of Nnamdi Azikiwe University, Professor Charles Okechukwu, Esimone FS. This is a Nanazikiwe University flag. This is the insignia. For those of us that understand the rituals, even in Catholic Church, you see what the Reverend Father will sound, even if you are to go for confession. The academic tradition was drawn from the religious culture, the ancient Roman religious culture. Bearing the motto, the flag, and the badge of Nnamdi Azikiwe University. I place this upon you as the Chief Executive and the Chief Accounting Officer of Nnamdi Azikiwe University, starting from 12/01, June 4th, 2019. We are coming. The university law, Cap 139, Laws of Federation of Nnamdi Azikiwe University, is the law of Nnamdi Azikiwe University. Law of Federation. This is the law that will guide you and in your operations. The registrar of the university is a lawyer. She will be in custody of this law. But from time to time, I know that the good Lord will lead you and will protect you and guide you in all your decisions. But the law you have will be the document that you will consult. You use that in your operations so that you serve God and humanity to the best of your ability. Give me the key. The university is in Oka. It's a community within a community. A peculiar community. Members of this community would always understand whenever I sit and I'll be addressing, I will tell them that I'm the spiritual head of also the institution. Because it's a community, there are ethos, and there should be order in any kingdom. The key we have, the gates of this university we have mapped. They're already protected spiritually. Amen. You have the beautiful gate now. That is the main entrance. The other subsidiary roads, there are also gates. And because we operate in Oka, we have full acceptance. This key came from Oka. If you allow good people to come into Nnamdi Azikiwe University, they will enter. If you allow bad people to come into Nnamdi Azikiwe University, they will also enter. But this key is for success. Amen. It's for advancement. Amen. It's for you to open doors for Nnamdi Azikiwe University to move from level to level. Amen. It's for you to admit men and women of goodwill, benefactors and students that will be the pride of our nation. It's for you to turn around Nnamdi Azikiwe University for good. is well with you. Use it well for us. In this university, we have created enough visibility and mobility by having international linkages and collaboration. This is going to represent the numerous, more than 30 international linkages we have with various institutions world over, in Asia, in Europe, in America, in Africa, in the Oceania, and beyond. This one is a seal of mutual and symbiotic relationship. For cooperation and growth between Nnamdi Azikiwe University and affiliate institutions. The Clayton State University of the state of Georgia is to represent all other affiliations we keep and we are having with our numerous international partners. So that whenever you visit any of those locations, the mutual relationship will continue to grow from level to level. Amen. Keep the relationship open. Now, I may not have need to wear this even today till 12 midnight. But that is the ritual and that is the dress for a Vice-Chancellor and Vice-Chancellor of Nnamdi Azikiwe University. I have a spare, give me the spare. I'll present the spare. It's the same. To you, the incoming Vice-Chancellor, the sixth substantive Vice-Chancellor of Nnamdi Azikiwe University, wear this for all our ceremonies, convocation, matriculation, congregation, inaugural lectures, public lectures, valedictory, and the inspiration that you will draw, guided by the vision and mission of the founding fathers of Nnamdi Azikiwe University. You do great exploits. I'll now formally install you by removing my own cloth as the sitting Vice-Chancellor and transferring the goodwill and good wishes for the growth of Nnamdi Azikiwe University and the growth of humanity to my successor, the sixth substantive Vice-Chancellor of Nnamdi Azikiwe University, Professor Charles Okechukwu Esimone. You understand that the dress, we have two. But for the cap, it's just one. So there wouldn't be any mistake for somebody to put on this cap. So I'll hand over this cap to you to lead us aright here at Nandaziki University in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit.
May we now call the Vice-Chancellor to give a few remarks.
Okay, Abogile has left. No, not at all. Thank you very much, the Vice-Chancellor Nnamdi Azikiwe University. I'm short of words, but because as the Vice-Chancellor of this great university, I must speak, then I have to speak. But before I speak, I wish to crave the indulgence of our guests who are here to give a few minutes to my old boys, Sobans, St. Joseph's College, Saseboya, where I'm the national president, to sing our school anthem and our school song. And I'll crave the indulgence of the DG budget to join us because he's also a Soban. I said I crave his indulgence. I'm craving his indulgence. Yes. What's that? Give me. Let me see. Okay, it's okay. Right? Are we good? School of them?
Near the Booyah Mountain, high above the sea, stands St. Joseph's College, a place for you and me. This year that we learn biology and geometry and chemistry in South by the mountain, South by the sea. With St. Joseph ever near to guide us, We are saved, whatever may betide us. From the storms and tempests, He will guide us in the hollow of His hand. In the hollow of His arm. In the hollow of His arm. We are saved, whatever may betide us, in the hollow of His hand. In the hollow of His arm. In the hollow of His arm. We are saved, whatever may betide us, in the hollow of His hand.
Thank you, my great servants. Thank you. Thank you very much. Time has been fast spent, but I want to thank my old boys in a special way. They've come from far and wide. I just recognize the presence of General Igwago now, who is also my old boy. General, thank you for making our time to come. The Vice-Chancellor NAU University, Professor Joseph Eberendo Haneko, FAS. The principal officers of our great university, who are the registrar, the boss, sir, the Deputy Vice-Chancellor Administration, in no particular order. The members of government who are here, members of the 7th, members of the 8th Governing Council, the traditional ruler of my town, Ezenebo III, Igwe C.N. Okpala, and your beautiful wife. Other traditional rulers who are here, my very good friend, the traditional ruler of Ezinifite, and traditional rulers presenting Ola Guata Union. Other traditional rulers who are here, my very good friend, the Igwe of Ogidi has left. Deans, various faculties and directors, heads of departments, and various invited guests from all over the nation. Because my old boys, my spiritual fathers, I must recognize them very specially at this time. The State Overseer, the Christian Life Ministry, Anambra State, Pastor Emmanuel Obodo. So I want to recognize you in a special way. Has he left? Okay, thank you very much. The State Overseer of Abia State, Pastor Ome. Thank you, and the wife, thank you very much. Our regional overseers are here. There are many from Moka region, Pastor Godi Okeke, Otocha, Obosi, and all of them. I want to recognize you and thank God for using you in a special way to preserve the sanctity of our faith and to teach us how to be law-abiding citizens wherever we walk through the scriptures. May God bless you all in Jesus' name. I have so many friends, my pastors who are also here from different places. Pastor Tony Agwanero, I want to thank you very much. I want to bless in a special way all the members of the cabinet of Ezenebo, people from Akweze who are here. Ezenebo, I want to crave indulgence to recognize Monowu, Moonwa, and all of the other members of your cabinet who are here. Ndi Ichi Akweze Ekenemunu. Ekenemunu. Nda Akweze Kwenu. Akweze Kwenu. Akweze Kwezuonu. Dalunu. My siblings who are here. Priska, are you here? Thank you. Njideka, are you here? Nemeka, are you here? Chukude, are you here? And others who have been supporting me in a very special way. And especially my queen. I think I deserve a hug from my queen. Thank you. God bless. God bless. God bless. She just informed me that my in-laws are here, my in-laws from Obo. They're here. Ndobo. Kwenu. Daluno. They're here. And I've also recognized a special way of my family. You know, I have a family from Mbisen Narambia that I've been grooming all the while. And then Leo. Dalu. Yes, Pastor Tony. Because Dalu no. These are all wonderful, wonderful brothers and sisters. And of course, students, staff who are here, and gentlemen of the press. This address is to serve as an acknowledgement of what God has done and what God will continue to do in the life of those who trust, who put their faith in Him. And so I want to say, join in welcoming the Pro-Chancellor and members of council. The Pro-Chancellor was represented here by members of council, by Surveyor Abiodun Aluko, the former Deputy Governor of Ekiti State, Surveyor Abiodun Aluko. Also represented by Chief Godwin Agu. I want to recognize you. Not forgetting our friend, the chairman of the APC Anambra State, Jidike Ekerengebiko Dalo. The outgoing Vice Chancellor, I want to thank you in a special way. And the Deputy Vice Chancellor Administration, my sister, and all other principal officers. I'm glad to also welcome my lords, spiritual and temporal, your highnesses, esteemed guests of the university, members of Senate, the academic and administrative staff of the university, the gentlemen of the press, and our great students of Unizik, great Zikites. Great Zikites. Behind me is my brother who has been recognized before, and we can't fail, we can't stop recognizing him. Pastor Ben Nakaboze, the DG of Budget. I thank you for finding time to come, sir. It is with unfathomable gratitude to God Almighty and great humility that I present myself for this handover stroke installation ceremony as the 6th substantive Vice Chancellor of Nnamdi Azikiwe University. To fully appreciate the magnificence of the divine intervention in this appointment made by the governing council, but in reality ordained by God, it needs to be recalled that only 12 years ago, being still a senior lecturer at the University of Nigeria, was interviewed for appointment in Nnamdi Azikiwe University, hoping for the position of professor at the best or reader at the worst. It's remarkable that 10 years after I assumed duty as professor and pioneer dean of the Faculty of School Sciences, I was found worthy of appointment, first as Deputy Vice Chancellor Academic, and then as Vice Chancellor, and that's what we are celebrating today. Such a meteoric rise may, to mundane thought, be wrongly ascribed to human efforts, but in reality, it is the hand of God. To Him alone be all the glory. Amen. I thank the outgoing Vice Chancellor, Professor Joseph Eberenda Haneko, FAS, who reposed great confidence and trust in me, and appointing me Deputy Vice Chancellor Academic for 2 terms of a total of 4 years. This position was pivotal in preparing me to assume higher responsibility as Vice Chancellor. I congratulate him immensely for the calm ambience of the university that prevailed during his entire tenure of 5 years. Such calm that most persons did not even know that the Vice Chancellor's selection process that had in the past generated much turbulence in the university actually took place. The most peaceful transition ever. I salute him for the tremendous progress the university made during his tenure in infrastructural development, in teaching, research, and particularly the international visibility of the university and the university governance generally. My administration will use these commendable achievements as launchpad to further advance the university. I should also commend my fellow contestants for this position. They all paraded outstanding credentials and were each well qualified for the position. But then, only one person can be appointed. Their sportsmanship was a significant factor in this hitch-free selection process. I'm coming to this job with a vision, prime on promoting the highest standard of academic excellence, productive community service, administrative reforms, discipline and advances in a matrix of human capacity building, infrastructural development, staff and students' welfare, and internally generated revenue. To accomplish this, I'll count on the cooperation of all of you, staff and students and well-wishers of the university. The strategies for bringing this vision to fruition, which will be expatiated in due course, will include, number one, in research, plan to create non-discriminatory, non-selective, and meritorious research conducive environment, where every researcher is enabled to excel in research, supported with grants, and given every assistance required to attract external grants. TED funds and IBR will be repositioned to be used by staff who are passionate about research. Our main focus will be on research translation and commercialization, which will have symbolic association with our basic research outputs. We will enthrone merit, and this will reflect in our promotion assessment criteria as we seek to encourage publication in top and impact factor journals in every discipline. We'll introduce postdoctoral fellowship and attract foreign postdoctoral fellows to work with principal investigators in our university. We'll pursue complementary collaborations with foreign universities to enable our researchers carry out procedures where we lack the capacity. We'll require all departments to source and maintain collaborations with local and international universities to enhance research. In teaching, the Quality Assurance Unit will be strengthened to monitor the quality of what the students are taught and the attitude of lecturers towards students. Students will be required to give feedbacks on every lecture at the end of every semester. The outcome of this feedback and survey will count towards promotion and assessment. The main purpose, however, is to discover teachers who may need further training to be able to teach using new pedagogy of learning that stresses on inclusive and flipped learning, where the lecturer is no longer the center and the emperor of the classroom. Resources will be provided so that lectures are delivered using digital resources in line with transformative higher education pedagogy, which positively inculcates transferable skills required in industries to our students. We will reposition the library with an in-library solution that will interface with the physical library, which will enable both staff and students to access the library at any time and from anywhere in the world. The librarian has reacted. On discipline, we will introduce digital attendance register, which will require biometric fingerprint for clocking in and out of work for staff, and for clocking into lectures held by students. Productivity will be required of every staff. Non-performing staff will be declared redundant and could be shown the way out if they do not turn a new leaf. Productivity bonus will not be mandatory for every staff. It will have to be earned. It's earned. It has to be earned. All administrative departments, including the registry and bursary, will be computerized in line with international best practices. There will be zero tolerance for plagiarism, sexual harassment, and inducement. A mechanism will be put in place to identify the culprits and punish them promptly and accordingly. In the atmosphere of discipline, there is progress. There will be proper orientation of both teaching and non-teaching staff on the rights of students, who are human beings that should be treated with respect because they are clients, the major reasons we are here. In infrastructure, the infrastructure deficit in the university will be tackled. We will strive to complete all ongoing projects, making provision for a new auditorium, a new Senate building, and an ICT center. I'll stop from where my predecessor has gone with respect to the stadium complex, which I assure you it will be completed. We'll build new classroom, we'll build new laboratories. In fact, 2 multi-purpose research labs will be built, one at Oka and one at NAU, for the purpose of multidisciplinary high-tech researches. In terms of welfare, staff and student welfare is very important to me. I will ensure that our staff receive all their entitlements and on time too. We will put mechanisms in place to avoid paying arrears after promotion. In other words, assessment will be announced timely where possible, and every so-called arrears will be paid as at when due. Again, for staff welfare, we're going to build staff quarters using private-public partnership. And the first beneficiaries will be all our junior staff. They will now live on campus. We're going to build more student hostels, especially postgraduate hostels. They will be constructed to the extent that we can accommodate at least 70% of all our postgraduate students and at least 50% of undergraduate students on campus. Recreational amenities will be put in place to make living inside the campus very, very attractive. Ladies and gentlemen, in our next gathering, which should not be very far from today, I will present to you the work plan of the university where all these things will be clearly detailed so that you know where you fit in as an individual and you can as well hold me accountable at the right time. I hereby, in the name of God, urge all hands to be on deck to enable us catapult this university from 4,047 position on the world map to the top 200 universities in the world in the next 5 years. With your support, and by the grace of God, we shall get there. Thank you, and may God bless you.
I'm going higher, yes I am.
Please, a round of applause before I invite the Simone family. I want to invite the Simone family to come and appreciate their son, the Simone family. The Simone family. The Simone family.
Into the presence of
appreciate your brother, the Simone family.
Into the presence of Jesus. I'm going higher someday. Ihe niile nwere n'elu ụwa obodo onye nyere gị ya. Chinyere gị o, chinyere m o, chinyere m o, chinyere Simone, chinyere m o, chinyere m o. Ọkwa chinyere gị o.
Thank you very much.
Chinyere gị o, chinyere m o, chinyere m o.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. May I invite the old boys of Sobam to come and appreciate their old boy. Old boy Sobam. Old boy Sobam. Old boys. Old boys. Old boys Sobam. Old boys. Old boys, please, please. Old boys, my dear. Thank you. Hello. Please, may we allow the old boys of Soban to appreciate their own. Old boys. Old boys. Old boys, you have the floor. Excuse me, old boys, you have the floor. Old boys, Soban. Old boys, please. May we request that you allow the old boys to appreciate their own place. Please. May we allow the old boys to appreciate their own. The old boys. Please, old boys. Please, after this, the vote of thanks, but before then, remember that all entertainments will be at the administrative block. Please, His Royal Highness's members of management, clergy, members of the High Table and Governing Council will be at the council chambers. The Soban Old Boys, UNN, should be at 10 to 1. Thank you. Members of the University Senate will be at 10 to 2. The canopy at the left will be Obowo community. The canopy at the right will be Akwa as a community. And the other canopies, 3 and 4, will be friends of Professor Haneko and friends of Professor Charles Simone, all at the administrative block. Council chambers and the tents at the administrative block. When you get there, you'll see where you'll be entertained. Oh boy, Soban, thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. 10 to 1, Soban, BSN and UNN. 10 to 2, members of University Senate. Canopy 1 at the left, Obowo community. Canopy 2 at the right, Akwa as a community. And then the other canopies 3 and 4 are friends of Professor Haneko and friends of Professor Charles Simone. All at the administrative block. Faculty of Social Science. May I invite the Deputy Vice-Chancellor Administration. No person should go to the house. All the entertainments and refreshments will be at the administrative block as announced, starting from the council chambers and all the tents downstairs. All the canopies are for entertainment. Nobody, no entertainment will be in the house. No entertainment at Professor Simone's house. All entertainment will be at the administrative block and the council chambers. Please. Professor Dame Carol Arizu Mobi for the vote of thanks. May we have audience for the Deputy Vice-Chancellor Administration for his vote of thanks. Hello. The Deputy Vice-Chancellor Administration, Dame, for the vote of thanks.
Vote of thanks. I I wish to thank everybody who made this possible. Yes. Thank you, ma. I want to thank everybody who made this possible. Members of my committee, the book committee. Everybody, you must have come from east, west, north, and south. I extend my greetings for making this happen. I will only pray that God Almighty will be with you as you journey home. But please remember, we have entertainment for everybody. And the administrative block as already given by the university orator. Please, we have taken all the e-ways should go to the administrative block, the council chambers upstairs. And as announced, please, we want to make sure that people are entertained. To God be the glory. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Deputy Vice-Chancellor Administration. May I invite the members of the Pharmaceutical Society of Nigeria to come and felicitate with their own.
Thank you very much. Please, all pharmacists in the house are invited to please step up here. All pharmacists in the house. Yeah, come up. We are the owners of the show.